She just felt the weather was a bit stifling, and recklessly dove into the sea to cool off, but no sooner had she jumped in, than eerie bubbling began rising from the surface. Instantly, her bestie sensed something was terribly wrong. It signaled the water temperature was rapidly rising. Terrified, she frantically shouted the girl's name. But it was already too late. The girl was already floating motionless in the water. Unbeknownst to the tourists, the entire sea had been completely boiled. The next second, their yacht exploded. What they didn't realize was, this was all a precursor to a volcanic eruption. Nearby in these waters, lay a volcanic island that had erupted before. Due to tectonic activity, lava beneath the volcano had flowed into the sea. Countless sea turtles, unable to withstand the heat, chose to migrate. Yet this family remained completely unaware, casually arriving on the island for their vacation. Soon, they encountered a terrifying ordeal, as if a severe earthquake struck nearby. When they looked up, they were stunned. A mushroom cloud erupted from the volcano in the distance. Upon learning the volcano was about to erupt, the family instantly panicked. They scrambled to pack their belongings and flee this terrifying place. Mom urgently urged the children to gather their things. With so many people now on the island, there simply weren't enough cruise ships to accommodate everyone. If they didn't hurry to the coast to board a ship, they might never get another chance to leave. Mike began flagging down passing vehicles for help. But in this life or death situation, everyone was focused on their own safety. No one was willing to stop. They could see death approaching with every passing moment. Mike spotted a large truck parked by the roadside. Without a word, he shouted for his family to climb aboard. He drove off in the stolen vehicle. Though they'd managed to secure a car, the locals showed no intention of letting them go. They pursued relentlessly from behind. Even after Mike's family reached the pier, the locals continued their chase. Mike had no choice but to have his wife and children get out first, while he stayed behind to stall them. This earned him a brutal beating. But thankfully his family made it safely onto the yacht. Seeing the locals still intent on catching him, Mike had no choice but to hand over a sum of money. Only then did they let the car-stealing Mike go. Mike fought to board the yacht and escape too, but by then it had already left the dock. Mike could only watch his family depart for now. With the volcano about to erupt, Mike had no idea where to go. Meanwhile, word had spread among the townspeople, and everyone was driving off the island. Just as he was sinking into despair, two young people noticed Mike, and kindly offered to take him with them. It turned out they were tourists here too. They had left a small boat at the pier days earlier. Seeing no other escape route, Mike had no choice but to follow them toward the dock. They eventually found the small boat, and dug up the key buried beneath the sand. They thought they'd narrowly escaped disaster. But just as they prepared to set sail, gunshots suddenly rang out nearby. A man approached, weapon in hand. Clearly, he had his eye on their boat. Handing over the boat meant certain doom. To save their lives, the younger brother snatched the gun from his hand. The sister beside him tried to intervene, but the next moment, the gun suddenly discharged, instantly striking her brother in the heart. Seeing this, the sister was instantly overcome with grief. It seemed they were about to meet their end right there. Luckily, Mike found a rock underwater, and barely won this battle. But just as he was about to call the girl to leave, he saw more people charging toward them from a distance. Mike knew that if anyone else tried to seize the boat, they'd never escape. He dragged the girl onto the boat, then brandished the pistol to threaten the crowd back. Only then did he manage to halt their advance. They managed to escape the terrifying volcanic island, but by then, the volcano had erupted violently. The sudden eruption sent them into a panic. To survive, they steered the small boat toward a nearby island, hoping to shelter from the volcanic eruption there. But could they truly escape unscathed? Would the eruption spread to this island? Meanwhile, at the airport on this island, a large crowd was preparing to board a flight. Everyone desperately wanted to escape this crisis. The next second, the long-dormant volcano erupted violently. Scorching lava mixed with mud surged into the sea, instantly sending powerful shockwaves toward the neighboring island. Meanwhile, various departments began investigations. After simulating the volcano and crustal movements, they discovered with horror that the eruption would also trigger a terrifying tsunami. The entire sea area would become extremely dangerous. Fortunately, analysis revealed a safe location, where the coordinates would remain untouched by the tsunami. Yet some doubted the safety zone's reliability. Rather than risk endangering lives by revealing it, they hurriedly escorted him from the briefing, but he refused to give up, directly writing down the coordinates. Thus, the location of the safe zone was exposed. At that very moment, two people on the neighboring island spotted the approaching tsunami through binoculars, but where could they possibly flee? Just as Mike despaired, his phone rang. The location was precisely the coordinates of the safe zone. Mike grabbed the girl and rushed toward it. Staying on the island meant certain death by the tsunami. To survive, they had no choice but to head for that spot. But at that very moment, a 100-meter-high tsunami surged toward them.